All right, good evening, everybody. Today is Wednesday, December 18th. The time is 6 p.m. We're in the Eldon F. Marver Board of Selectmen meeting room on the second floor of Town Hall. Before we stand for the pledge, please be aware this meeting is being recorded for use on the internet and our local cable station. If you could join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening. First item on the agenda is a vote to sign the purchase and sale agreement for 0 Howard Street. This was voted on at town meeting. It is a piece of property roughly across the street from the fire police station and COA in that area. As discussed in the meeting, there were some restrictions and they are noted in the P&S. One is the naming. Should it become a field, it would be called Howell Field or something to that effect. The second was that there are no municipal buildings or any other buildings to be used more as an open space recreation. And then the third was to be as kind to the neighbors as we can with parking, and that's me paraphrasing. But at that point, the price for the purchase and sale is $430,000. Again, it was all voted and approved at town meeting. Any other discussion?
None.
Nope.
All right. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to sign a purchase and sale agreement for 0 Howard Street as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Next, vote to approve R.E. Brown and Company contract for town audit.
So our Brown has been our auditors for decades, a couple of decades, certainly all the years that I've been here. So we always do a 3-year contract. The price has escalated the last couple of years, but in checking with other towns, that's the going rate. And so I see no reason to change auditors. So as a result, I ask you to sign and approve the contract as presented.
Any discussion?
Pretty straightforward.
Make a motion to approve the R.E. Brown and Company contract as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote on an annual license renewal for the car lot.
So this is a used car lot that has been open for years. It is adjacent to Monty's Harley Davidson. And you'll recall they were here and they were transferring the license. There was some confusion on their part, so they submitted the paperwork. Usually it would have been part of your packet last meeting. It wasn't. So everything else is in order. I don't believe we're waiting on any inspections. Everything is done. It's just a renewal like you had done at your last meeting.
All right. Entertain a motion. No discussion.
Make a motion to approve the annual license renewal for the car lot.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next, vote to appoint David Moore to the bylaw study committee.
So I placed the mission statement in the rules and regulations as approved by the Board of Selectmen at the creation of the bylaw study committee. The building inspector is part of it by name, by title. David is with us short term, but because we are already going to start the process now for May town meeting, they are beginning the process to meet. So we want to make sure that he is in good standing, so I ask you to make that formal appointment.
Any discussion?
No?
Make a motion.
Oh, I was going to say.
Make a motion to appoint David Moore to the bylaw study committee.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approve the meeting minutes of November 20th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of November 20, 2024.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Accept the meeting minutes for December 4th, 2024 for review.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of December 4, 2024 for review.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There no communication from boards, reports, commissions, or town officials. Correspondence to the public to determine course of action. There is none. Public comment. We have no public. No offense to anybody in this room, but there's nobody in the seats. So at this point, David, town administrator's report.
Yep, so first, if it's okay with the board, I want to let you know we are in the process of negotiating a solid waste contract that does expire at the end of this month. We have terms, so I could have easily have brought a contract to you, but I've been negotiating with multiple vendors. There has been a reduction in price. I'm not all the way there yet, so at your next meeting, I expect that we'll have one. So at this point, see if there's no objection, I'm just going to move on and basically table that. Okay. Clerical comp study, this was an agreement between the Board of Selectmen in 2023, and we signed their most recent contract to do a compensation study. Quite frankly, it's taken 2 years to get here, just to be doing its twists and turns, but at the end of the day, we have an obligation to do it. I do think it'll be really good because we'll find out, looking at comp towns, as to where we stand, good and or bad. Also, we only have one job description in our collective bargaining agreement, which needs to be addressed. And the nice thing is, by having a third-party company do it, there's no bias from the town's point of view or from the union's point of view. We should get real, solid, verifiable data that we can use going forward. So I'm giving you a heads up because the board's already had already directed us to do this in the past, but it was a different board. The price of this is $9,000. It will come out of your budget, which means that at the end of this year, if we don't have enough, we may have to transfer. But again, we do those end-up transfers every single year. We'll have the money, just giving you an FYI. ADA improvement grant. Again, I really want to give our ADA committee and our planner, Tracy and Amy. Marcy also did work on this, which I'll ask her to speak in just a second. But this will be in reference to the police department, but it's $21,000. And I think it's just another example that all of our employees continue to do everything they can so that we're not using tax dollars and we're using grant dollars. And Marcy, I don't know if this, you know this much better than I do with what you worked on it.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy that the ADA committee is continuing to pursue these grants. This is the fourth grant that the ADA committee has been awarded in 3 years, and those are the only 4 grants they've ever been awarded and ever really applied for. So that's good to know. And yeah, no, I'm just, congratulations to them. Thank you to everybody who worked on it. I know that Vic, it was Vic's idea a couple of years ago for this grant, and then now Tim is going to be taking that over. So thank you to the police chief and the ADA committee and the town planner.
The next one is just another, again, an FYI. We are in the final days of use of ARPA funds, which is a federal program that was signed along in 2021. There was $762,000 that the town received. Half of it has been spent, half of it has been obligated through the board. I want to hire a consultant to do all the final reporting, which we'll have the next 2 years to do. It is a company that currently has 20 other municipalities doing this exact same thing. That's what their niche is. And so it's not a lot of money. My guess is, although I was guessing it was going to be $5,000 to $10,000, it's realistically probably going to be more like $2,000 to $3,000 over the next 2 years. But it's really an insurance policy to make sure that we get it done and we get it done right, because obviously we're always subject to audit by the federal government, and as a result, we want to make sure that we minimize that exposure. And again, that would be paid for out of the ARPA money, so it will not be paid for out of local tax dollars. It will not come out of the Board of Selectmen's budget.
Good.
Next one is really just an FYI. Again, the police continue to do a really nice job of 21st century policing. And all that really means is that besides enforcement, which obviously they have a legal task to do, is that they also make sure that they're also in a positive role within the community. So this is a Citizens Academy. 3rd year we'll be doing it. The last 8 weeks, it starts on January 8th, and it'll last 8 consecutive weeks. It is my understanding that it may be filled at this point, but when we put it together, they were still accepting applications. But again, contact the police department. I placed the FYI here in the packet, but they do a really nice job, and I think residents get a lot out of it. Last FYI on the agenda is just in reference to the Girl Scouts. They'll be using the town hall parking lot as they do every single year in January and February. The last item of note that I would really like to also point out is I want to say thank you to the DPW department. They do a really nice job. We see the town hall and the town gazebo lit up, but also the town park is lit up at War Memorial Park. And that's not easy, especially if you're out there in the cold on a windy day, which last week they were. So it looks fantastic. I want to say thank you to them for all of their efforts. And I don't know if you want to make that last announcement. Okay. But so in reference to DPW, I just want to say thank you.
So to David's point, this is our last meeting of the year, so a couple of brief announcements to make. And the first one is to ask the town to say a prayer or two for Eldon Marrera. He He's been involved in town government for over 50 years, and without going into detail, he could use our prayers right now. So with that in mind, best wishes to Eldon, and again, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Secondly, just say happy holidays to everyone this time of year. It's kind of crazy, everybody running around, and sometimes that gets lost in the mix. But definitely want to say happy holidays. Want to thank everybody in this building for all the work that they do on a regular basis, as well as Marcy and David. And we've had Marcy and David, you're Mike. I looked at David as I crossed over. I apologize. But thank Mike and Marcy for, I think, a fairly productive year, and look forward to doing it again next year, and maybe turning it up a bit too. And then on a final note, apparently there's a tradition. I never went and asked the other selectmen. There's a tradition, so David could be pulling the wool over on us. But nonetheless, as a thank you for all the work that the Board of Selectmen staff does for us, we're excited. The three of us are going to take the three of them out for dinner at the conclusion of this meeting. So, but thank you, David. Thank you, Christine, and thank you, Linda, who's not in the room, for everything you do throughout the course of the year. And dinner doesn't quite pay for that, but it's the best we got. So, thank
Yeah,
you all.
thank you.
So, and I don't know if Mike or
Thank
Marcy.
you.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. I think we have a great town because of all the people, not only because of our residents, but the awesome people that work in this town. So thank you for a great year. And like you said, looking forward to turning it up next year.
All of that. Second.
All right, with that, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Happy holidays, happy New Year. Thanks.